is okay. So these are the most important, the not the most important, the highest legal documents of the European Union. Okay, and then after this we take a look into okay. Or maybe we jump to the next page first. Okay, this is the hierarchy, which means the label, different label, high and low levels of European laws or European legal document. Okay. So the highest, we call them the primary laws, as we just talked about. There are two main treaties. Treaty on European Union, and its acronym is TEU, and Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union, TFEU, and their protocols. What are protocols? Can anyone tell me what protocols are? Anyone? Okay, never mind. Usually when we see European legal documents, okay, this is the title, and these are the main articles. Maybe there may be a lot of articles, but before the main articles, before the main content, there will be something like prefaces. And in the prefaces, they have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Call them. It's like recital 1, recital. Okay, how to spell it. Recital 1, recital 2, recital 3. And these are in the prefaces of a legal document. And after the main context of a legal document, sometimes they will have, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have. The protocols are kind of it's kind of a amendment. Okay, it's something to add on the main context. So usually when we say if a legal document is binding, it's not just about the main context, but also including the protocols, because these are the kind of enhancement, kind of amendment, something to add on the main context. Okay, but the text in these recitals, they are not binding. They are just explanations. Okay, although it's very rare to find something conflict or contradicting between the recitals or the main context. So usually there shouldn't be an issue if something concrete here, and the recital says it should be like this way, and the main context says it should be another way. This is very rare, but if that is really the case, the recitals or the prefaces is not bad. The statement in the prefaces are not binding. Okay, only the main text and the protocols are binding. Only they have legal effect. Okay. Okay, so the European law, I mean the primary law of the European Union law are the two main treaties and their protocols, and also the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union after the Treaty of Lisbon went into power. Okay, and besides this, there are also general principles of European Union law. What are these general principles? I mean, can you think of something like a general principle in a jurisdiction? No. Well, these general principles are more about the principles of law. Okay, so it's something like we might have talked about in the previous two classes, maybe like the rule of law and the principle of proportionality. Okay. Proportionality, yeah, and something like due process. So something like these are the general principles of the European Union law. Okay. And it has the same status as the two main treaties and the charter. And then we had, below these primary laws, we have secondary laws, or what we call it secondary legislation. Okay, there are 5 types of secondary laws, or 5 types of secondary legislation, and they are regulations, directives, decisions, recommendations, and opinions. And you may ask, if there are 5 kinds, why did I just put them into 3 categories? Okay. Because of their different binding powers. Okay. So each category here has different binding power. Okay. Let's take a look in the power of this secondary legislation is stated in Article 288 of the TFEU. Let's take a look here. I put that into decision. Sorry, it should be four categories. Okay, first we take a look at what a regulation is. According to Article 288 of TFEU, a regulation shall have general application. Okay, it shall be binding in its entirety and directly applicable in all member states. So it's like a law. It's generally applicable. Okay. That means it's not designed or drafted specifically just for a case. It can apply to any case that is involved. Okay? And it should be binding in its entirety and directly applicable. That means in the member states, the national authorities, they can apply a regulation from the European. They can apply the regulation directly onto the case in their own country. Okay. And you may wonder, okay, that is the law I know about. What are the others? Yeah. And the next one is called directive. Okay. A directive shall be binding as to the result to be achieved upon each member state to which it is addressed, but shall leave to the national authorities the choice of form and methods. Okay. This may look a little bit more complicated compared to regulation, but what it says means it's not directly applicable. Okay. A directive shall be adopted by member states. Oh, what are member states? What are member states? Yeah, something like European countries who are the members of the European Union. Okay. So a directive shall be adopted by the member states into their national laws. Okay. So a member state, a European Union country, cannot apply a directive directly. Okay, it has to adopt the directive to make it into their national law. This process is called, well, you can just call it adoption, or you can call it transposition. So the idea is, if this is the European Union, and they have, for example, like a okay. So this is the European Union. So when they make a regulation, each member state, for example, Germany, it can use directly the text in this regulation. But if the European Union, what the European Union makes is a directive, the member state cannot use directly of the text in the directive. It has to transpose this legal document into their national law. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so